Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you're serious about the digital asset space, and let's get right into it today. So to kick things off, shared by Status, again, his website, stedas.hr, great website to learn about infographics with all things Ripple and XRP related, as well as xrparcade.com. So right here, Chris Larsen, executive chairman of Ripple. We're going to be talking about the Internet of Things. We're going to be talking about real-time gross settlement. We're going to be talking about the Bank of England and their central bank digital currencies and their regulations, along with the proof of concepts they've done with the company Ripple with XRP specifically. So right here, this quote by Executive Chairman, and by combining all those new ledgers, new devices, and new apps or applications together with the interoperability layer, which is Interledger Protocol, bridging all networks, boom, that will change the world overnight, and we are so close to that. Building the Internet of Value. And again, this is at the Lendit FinTech Conference 2018. Status always creates these great infographics, much appreciated. And again, that Cambrian explosion is Chris Larsen often refers it to. Really quick, the Internet of Things by 2025, this is just one trend. There's various predictions, but as we can see, according to the projection of Statista Research Department, 75.44 billion devices, guys. 75 billion devices will be connected with the Internet of Things, or IoT, worldwide in the next 5 years, guys. The next major step in making the world a connected place. Something to show you here. Now, this is not to spread fear. Please keep the comments positive. This is a microchip. Now, we realized in one of the previous videos, if you watch the entire video that I upload, we figured out that BuyChip actually canceled their partnership with Ripple, these microchips that go in your hand. I am not going to play the whole video due to copyright purposes, but again, they're the size of a grain of rice. We see that BuyChip actually worked with Ripple early on, but now they have their own currency and they're using it for payments with this company. Again, more like a, for-profit initiative, just like anything. But this microchip, as we can see here, is actually injected the size of a grain of rice, and this was on the Today Show. And again, they inject it into the hand. I know it creeps me out, to be honest. It really does. But I'm showing you that the ability and integration with payments is already here. So injects them. This is, chip parties. We can see this company's implanting its employees, those who, volunteer with microchips. And for example, you can go right to this little kiosk, whether you're in the cafeteria or whatever. I know a lot of places have this and have used this exact setup and brand. And you can literally buy something and you hold your hand, you scan it, and the payment goes through. Now, this is really creepy to me, but I just wanted to show you the technology is there. Will this be rolled out? Will it be mass adopted? I don't know, but I'm just showing you anything is possible. Granted, there are other utilities with microchips and, these bio chips in the hand, along with, identification, tracking, things of that nature. But to me, that is personally really unsettling. So, next up, going hand in hand with the Internet of Things, we have Matthew Liny, must follow on Twitter, guys, provides some amazing information. So right here, the Internet of Value overview and the potential utility of XRP applications in this new digital world. So going hand in hand again with what we were just talking about, not only ledgers in interoperability between them, new devices, but then also these new applications. And some of these can actually be decentralized or distributed. So let's dive in really quick, and I want to tie it into something that is also very interesting. So this is actually made by Everest. So we have the same documents, and I wanted to tie it in. Remember, Everest, an NTT data company, one of the top 5 or 6 largest IT firms in the world, working with Ripple, Accenture, R3, Swift, long ago, replacing and connecting these money networks and replacing, again, the correspondent banking system, okay? So remember, this is the old days, again, all the way 1980s to 2017. The real-time gross settlement, the local payment rails, replacing these correspondent banks, utilizing CLS. CLS already does over 50% of all foreign exchange transactions. We can see it's, obviously very expensive, slow, error prone. We're aware of this. And again, continuous link settlement, we understand. We can see the adoption of real-time settlement now with Interledger Protocol bridging these groups, okay? Improving messaging, Xcurrent using ILP, or even Swift GPI. It does not matter. This is improving the messaging, but there's still a pre-funded account issue, dormant capital, and the payment or the actual physical settlement and delivery of the assets is highly inefficient. As we go here, real-time gross settlement. So we can see SEPA, we can see ACH, FPS, we can see these groups connected. Interledger Protocol connects right to the XRP ledger for global real-time gross settlement. And now all of these, central banks, the correspondent banks, I should say, and liquidity providers can interoperate efficiently. I've shared this document many, many times. I hope it never gets deleted all over my Twitter. And this is one of the reasons why I recommend you guys get on Twitter. Feel free to follow me or anyone else that you think adds value. All right. So as we can go right here, we're showing this connection. Now, this is what I want to talk about. The platforms themselves that Matthew Liny tied together. Remember that Chris Larson of Ripple has said, yes, we need to develop liquidity as ecosystem matures. Eventually, with enough volume and depth in the order books, as Ripple just released on their website recently, he's talking about being able to build these dApps, these applications that serve real purposes and connect capital markets. Okay, R3 will be a huge, huge player in this. We can see blockchain and distributed ledger technologies. Corda, of course, as I mentioned. We know Hyperledger, of course, working in tandem with Ripple and Interledger Protocol. Huge proponents and advocates, and gifted to the W3C, the Interledger Protocol, to kind of make it the protocol for the Internet of Value, all right? Digital asset holdings and Ethereum. So we're well aware of this. But now these capital markets, as I've mentioned, Bloomberg, Calypso, DTCC, and yes, believe it or not, they have announced that they will be using a digital asset for settlement. They are a behemoth, all connected to CLS. Keep in mind Finastra with PayPlus. I've done videos on this. Great researchers sharing this information. Darren Moore, Matthew Liny, XRP Crypto Wolf, King Solomon. I mean, there's a bunch, and I apologize if I haven't mentioned you guys. There's so many. All right, Trade Finance, SAP. We know what their Ariba network, okay? One of the biggest monetary networks in the future, connected with Goldman Sachs, connected directly with XRP Proof of Concepts. We realize what is occurring. We can see Internet of Things, as we've talked about. And again, this is all in tandem with the Interledger Protocol and potentially all running on the XRP ledger, whether it is physically XRP delivering it or IOUs issued on the ledger. We can even tokenize assets themselves in escrow XRP, whether that is a central bank digital currency or just, a precious metal or even a version of a commodity or commercial real estate, which is easier to tokenize than residential real estate. This is the future we are moving towards. Payment platforms, PayPal, Alipay. I mean, you can even mention Venmo and other groups like that, Square with Jack, and yours truly on Twitter. Marketplaces, of course, throughout China and the United States globally, and then other platforms as well. Google again, was a seed investor as well. I know Matthew Liny says this in the thread. Google Ventures was one of the initial investors in Ripple. We can see Uber. They have tons of documents using Amazon and Uber as examples, even for real-time payments, paying employees in real time. And this is all about the core ledger of the central banks. And I talk about that all the time, and I will actually show documentation provided by Mickey B. Fresh in this one. So, Matthew Liny, Internet of Value. We can see the networks. So we see ISO. We can see Visa, of course, acquiring Earthport. ACH, SEPA, MasterCard working in tandem with R3, Swift, and Ripple as the networks. Notice ILP. This is the ILP signal connecting, again, open APIs. And then look at these platforms. Essentially the same ones we just named. And again, this is by Everest, an NTT data company. Once again, the same groups. We can see Salesforce, R3 Corda, Alipay, etc. Now, we can see the platforms, open APIs, all interconnected. We go here, global payments, talking about initiating the relationship, all KYC and AML compliant. We can see these MTOs, money transfer operators. We can see working with regulators for anti-money laundering, as we can see fiat currency, the smart contract and automation, or any version of atomic swap. Once the criteria is met, the consensus, and actually this occurs and puts the payment through. This is disintermediation and gets rid of the counterparty risk. All right, we can see the IDs, the foreign exchange rates, and confirming this, the payout conditions, date and time. So once this is set, this cannot be altered. There's no, hacker that can mess with this. All right, this is why it's so far secure and superior to what we are currently using. I think if people realized the technology we were using, it would be laughable what the Internet of Value is today and what it will become. It's just like how the internet was in the 80s compared to what we are today. Now we have everything on our phone. So delivery of funds, and again, post-payment. Now there's even more with this, of course, trade finance, delivering goods, settling on the terms, etc. And we can keep going. I'm going to take a few other things to look at in Matthew Liny sharing this as well. We can see reconciliation, kind of essentially the clearing, seeing who owes who, the obligations, and then settlement is the physical delivery of the assets. Okay, counterparty details, cash commitments, dates, details, etc. We can see all of this, clearing, settlements, asset servicing. Very, very cool. And this is all by NTT Data, guys. I love that he found this document to kind of support this original presentation that was released in 2017. All right, and these are behemoths. This is not just some group. This is work behind the scenes. They don't have to share this with us at all. All right, compliance. And again, I like this. So this gentleman, Joe Smo, safe to say interledger protocol connectors will see substantially more volume than the XRP ledger ever will. And just curious, and it's very possible. And Michael Pinky goes, eventually, but they are more than 1 year behind my opportunistic production schedule. The fight over stuff is to get everything 100% right. Normally, this Pareto's law that I talk about, this 80-20 rule should do, but maybe because the money is involved, the value is involved, they're going for 100% of the market directly, and this may delay the entire thing. And that is what I think may be happening, guys. I know we anticipated many things ahead of time. Potentially, it has all been planned all along. It is simply a waiting game. But me personally, I do expect some great news and hopefully price appreciation by end of year. Big things, especially I think just spurring from the economy itself. I think we are, more prone to the unexpected than ever before. So this is what I wanted to share, and I'm going to finish up with this, guys. This is awesome. So XRP Crypto Wolf, Bank of England, we know, Mark Carney as well, huge advocate of Ripple, and they discuss in this paper central bank digital currencies, their opportunities, challenges, and design. So here's a quote, and we have the article right here, shared by XRP Crypto Wolf, so thank you. Central bank digital currency should be designed to interoperate with other countries' CBDC payment systems to support future cross-border payments. And again, Ripple and XRP could help. And what's cool is Mickey B. Fresh chimes in and shows some additional research. But really quick, I'm going to tap on this. So stay with me here. All right, so just talking again, this layered architecture approach to technology infrastructure is becoming a common approach in payments. As we can see, the central bank core ledger, guys, this is what we're talking about, providing relatively simple payment functionality on a core ledger. Today, we have central points of failure. That is not what is going to happen. We are moving towards a distributed monetary system. Will it be decentralized like all the Bitcoin advocates hope? No, I doubt it. But what's going to happen is it will be a more level playing field to allow kind of democratize the payments and voting and consensus of everything and agreements. And it's going to have multiple, the systemic risk is going to disappear, and it's going to be very, very much more distributed, reliable, and in real time. All right, so talking about this central bank core ledger, feel free to pause it if you guys want to screenshot this. And again, I retweet a lot of the things I share on Twitter, so that is why I also recommend it. All right, talking about the central bank ledger, talking about, it's a better way, a safer way as well to provide today, Junior, I just keep stuttering, but better cross-border payments. For example, central banks may be able to work together to link domestic CBDCs in a way that enables fast and efficient cross-border payments. We can see individual domestic CBDCs designed around a common set of standards, interoperability. You guys can just speed read through this and you kind of get the gist of what is occurring here. We can see public and private actions to improve the existing cross-border framework and payment systems. We can see, again, the bank is involved in the CPMI's Cross-Border Payments Task Force and will feed into G20 and work on enhancing cross-border payments. Remember, we watched the FSB, the Financial Stability Board. We watched, meetings and updates with the G20 leaders. It is all right in front of our eyes, the push. I talk about milestones and delays and, years, and it's always pushed out every single year. Blah, blah, blah. It's always pushed out. And guess what? Then governments realized and admitted to developing central bank digital currencies since 2014, working on digital currencies for decades. And it all comes out during these types of, crises. Right. And then also this is huge fun that I did make a separate video addressing, talking about finality, or however you pronounce it. I say finality. And this is this utility settlement token amongst a small group of banks. It is still a walled garden, and it's proposed to issue digital settlement tokens that would be fully backed by central bank money, allowing instant settlement. And it wants to connect all the central banks. And I don't buy it. It's not going to occur. Please watch that video as well. So again, the bank aims to publish proposals on how and under what conditions new settlement providers could open accounts at the bank to facilitate similar innovative wholesale settlement models. All right, talking about the private sector, talking about these groups, nothing new, guys, working with fintechs, merging to basically improve, the interoperability, driving competition, innovation, you get it. All right. Now, what I wanted to show you was Mickey B. Fresh going with this, and I believe, yeah, here we go. So Brad Kimes also said this, so I really like this. Again, with Finality, that utility settlement token that everyone says is a FUD killer to XRP, the central banks don't want to hold each other's CBDCs, okay? Therefore, there needs to be an asset in the middle of all of those transactions. Another great perspective. All right, now Mickey B. Fresh sharing this. Definite follow. This is Mr. Fresh Time. So there's been some deleted info about the details of Ripple's proof of concept with Bank of England back in 2017. I know I recently showed the clip of Miguel Valles, head of XRP markets for Ripple, talking about their proof of concept with Bank of England, along with Interledger Protocol. This is why I see all of this coming into fruition, guys, with the ILP bridging everything. Right? ILP replacing CLS, creating this own marketplace. ILP is agnostic in terms of value. It is truly just interoperable. I think it's a done deal. But again, you should not take advice from anybody. You should always do your own research, question everything, and there is risk in everything. So right here, I want to talk about this. Bank of England collaborated with Ripple Solutions with AI RegTech from Bridge.ai auditor to assure real-time KYC AML compliance and other regulatory compliance. Now in this, he shares some screenshots. He talks about machine learning, additional AI capabilities. I'll kind of go through it briefly because it is high. I'm just going to go over high level and it can get a little granular. Again, just talking about these real-time gross settlement systems, it says a Ripple solution is built around an open and neutral interledger protocol and serves to power interoperable payments across different ledgers and networks. As we showed those pictures, the Bank of England decided it would be its best choice. And these are deleted documents, all right? This is not fake. This has been around for years, and we are approaching the decision points. I believe this year, the year of the digital asset. We can see MindBridge's AI auditor, Bank of England's trying to understand, again, scout and track digital currencies, researching simultaneous use cases of real-time settlement systems, AI auditor, keep tracking those systems. You can see employing AI software used by NASDAQ as well. And as we can see, the Bank of England will be utilizing machine learning to achieve these goals. And we can see MindBridge right here. So I thought this was a really, really cool find. Again, integration and software updates, integration costs. We can see Ripple views its payment platform or payment system as a foundational platform upon which several value-added services will be offered. Future value-added services may include a liquidity sourcing and management service and customizable risk monitoring tools. Wow, it kind of makes me look at all of the talk about that whole quantum financial system or even AI integration and machine learning and, truly sourcing liquidity and going through these processes and talking about what I talked about recently. I'm sorry to reference every video I've made. It's just coming to mind. Talking about even the decentralized exchange capabilities, making a distributed, deep marketplace where people can buy and sell anything of value over the Interledger protocol, which will essentially be the bedrock of this new financial system that we are seeing. But before that happens, we have to watch the petrodollar die and the current one fall apart. All right, hybrid plans, we can see a fee per payment model, all kinds of things that are going on. It's fascinating, guys. Absolutely fascinating. All right, again, just Mickey B. Fresh, so thank you for that. And then lastly, I'm going to finish off with a great researcher here, Fame21 More. Highly recommend following this guy, guys. Great YouTube content straight from the horse's mouth. Check him out. You can type in probably XRP Darren and find some great things, whether it's, Stuart Elderati talking about the SEC, building a node on the XRP ledger, things of that nature. And I wanted to share this quote because I thought I just related to it so well during these uncertain times. So if I wasn't so confident in crypto assets being the cure to this economic downturn and kind of being that savior, I'd be very afraid. Thought that was comical, guys. Again, remember to check the links in the description. I appreciate all of you, and until next time.